Well, good morning, good evening to you. I'm talking to Mikko from the Von Hertzen brothers. Good evening.
Good evening. Where are you at, Scott?
I am in Alaska, Kenai, Alaska, on a peninsula on the south part of Alaska. Where are you?
I'm in Helsinki, so basically same latitude, but on the other side of the world. Huh?
Do you have any snow yet?
No, not yet.
No,
Luckily.
Same here. It's been quite nice. Well, I got to tell you, I discovered you guys when you released the video New Day Rising all those years ago. I saw that made me, I went out and bought the album, and I've been a fan ever since. So thank you for that. It's still like my go-to get up in the morning, put it on, and get ready to go kind of song. So I appreciate that. Then I discovered all the various colors of the Von Hertzen brothers and your long career. And boy, that was a rabbit hole to go down. So anyway, thank you for taking the time today to talk about your new album. Please tell me, why have we recorded a new Von Hertzen brothers album?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it all boils down to the fact that, when you have songs, you feel like sharing them. Von Hertzen brothers has always been like a project that needs to be kind of free in our expression, and we are very independent in a way that we kind of just, try to come up with ideas. And if we like those ideas, whether it's rock or prog or folk or punk, we then decide to do it, and record them and share it with the world. So this time around, we felt like, okay, we had a like a epic pandemic like double album just released under our belt, so we felt like, okay, let's do a rocker this time, and let's do like big choruses and just have a little bit fun, for a change.
Well, like you never have fun in your videos. I mean, come on. But
you know what I mean. I mean, the whole pandemic thing kind of like really went under our skins, and like it was a little bit hard to kind of like feel inspired during that time, because everything was like so uncertain for us, musicians. And so now we felt like, okay, the world is open again. So let's, do those kind of songs that we are going to enjoy playing live,
Like Ascension, that Ascension's, that video, you're kind of copying the old Bob Dylan video, but doing it your style. How fun was that?
Well, it was very fun to me. I mean, it was stressful, obviously, because you have to kind of exactly. And I was wearing like shades because I needed to see like what my next like cardboard thing is gonna say. So I was pretending that I was looking into the camera, but I was looking down all the time, like watching, okay, whether my rhythm is okay. But it was fun. I mean, it was like we wanted to do some kind of visual for the song. And obviously, like you mentioned, Bob Dylan's video from 50 years ago.
Yeah,
it's a
classic
legendary video. So a classic video. So we felt like, okay, he did it his way, but then we have all these kind of fun, whoa, yay things in the song. So we wrote them on those pieces of cardboard, and then we just like felt like this is a little different, but still a tribute,
Whose handwriting? Who wrote all those?
We all wrote those.
Yeah?
Like everybody had to do their own individual, like,
Oh, so that's why some are more like grandiose, some are more artistic.
Oh, yeah. And there are typos there and all that stuff. So,
but that's what, I mean, you're having fun.
Yeah, we were having fun. Yeah.
What else do you like off the album? What's some of the other fun songs? Because nobody's heard it yet.
Well, obviously, the opening track is really cool. I feel like you mentioned New Day Rising was like the first song that you really got into. So I would say that it's kind of, there's similarities. It's kind of like a forward-kicking rock song.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. And then there's a few ballads that I really like. And there's a ballad called Beneath the Silver Stars, which is really, I think that it's really kind of nice and poetic and has a really nice melody. And, and then there's you and me, we know what a snowstorm is, so
right.
There's a song titled Snowstorm, and it's one of the heavier songs of the album. And if you liked New Day Rising and Trouble on that album, you know, it has a little bit of the same kind of really kind of like slow, heavy groove to it. So yeah, there are many things that I think that people will like. I hope so. Yeah.
One of the things I really have gravitated to the band in general, but is your vocal melodies. You don't always take the path that I expect in songs. Is that a conscious effort, or is that just how you sing?
It's just the way that, you know, like obviously the melody of the song is the most important thing, and we feel like, you know, because it's so deeply ingrained to us, like all those like beautiful songs by ABBA and all those Scandinavian songs from the 70s, 80s. And then like when we were growing up, we listened to, you know, whatever was played on the radio. So still 90, you know, the beginning of the 90s was still like, so like all the hit songs were really melodic, you know, you know, like if you compare to today's like mainstream, you know, which is like a few notes and then some like really simple stuff.
Yeah, one chord.
So exactly. So you know, it's a craft, you know, and you always try to stay true to your like melody and work the melody. It's the most important thing in the song, and we feel like, you know, we really have been able to kind of like educate ourselves how to write good melodies and use these kind of tricks that makes the hooks in the melodies like somehow like, you know, invisible, but, you know, you sense that there's something there. And also many people came to say say to me that, you know, it's impossible to like sing Von Hertzen Brothers in karaoke because they're so difficult.
It is.
Like, the melodies are so difficult, and they go like
you're so down here and then you're way up here.
Exactly. So yeah, so it's a little tricky, but you know, it's the way we do stuff. So you know,
and that's what makes you unique.
I would want to think so. Yeah.
I don't think you guys sound like anybody else, and that's a good thing.
Well, that's a compliment. Thank you so much.
Well, for those that may be new to Von Hertzen Brothers and here in the United States, a lot of people, you know, there are actual brothers in this band. Were you guys playing music all your lives? I mean, I started playing piano when I was 4.5, and that's really important. 4.5 years old. That extra 6 months makes a difference.
Exactly. And then my big brother started playing guitar when he was, I think, 10 or 11, maybe 9. I don't remember. But yeah, you know, our father was kind of like, you know, he was a businessman, but he had guitars at home because with his own band, when he was a teenager, they won the kind of like the national rock contest here in, I think it was 63 or 64, playing like instrumental guitar music, you know, guitar, like, you know, Shadows was cool back then,
right.
You know, and, you know, that kind of rocky, you know, like groovy stuff. And then, but, you know, he started getting kids, you know, the boys, and he had pressure to kind of provide for the family. So he went into the business and kind of like, didn't have much time to do music, but still like our family home was like filled with music. And our dad was traveling a lot to the States, for example. And he used to have business in Texas and, you know, the southern states and California. So he was always bringing with him like LPs for us to listen to, you know. So he brought all the ZZ Top albums and Eagles albums and all that cool stuff that was kind of like really cool in the 70s, late 70s and early 80s. So we were like really exposed to these kind of different sounds, and because of him, you know, he went to, you know, we were so young, so we didn't really go to record stores yet, you know, because I was like 10, you know. So he went to London and he brought this, you know, the box of all the Queen albums and stuff. So, you know, that really inspired us to like work on our like, you know, own expression and, you know, find the songs on the piano or find the songs on the guitar. And that's how we learned to play. And very early on, we started making these cassettes, you know, C cassettes for our grandparents, you know, like, you know, for example, when it was like Christmas time, we used to like record some like songs that we learned, and then we gave that as a present to our grandparents. So yeah, I mean, the music was always there, and then individually we had many bands along the way, and then we came together as brothers later on. Yeah.
And when did that happen? How did that, because I know a family dynamic, you guys, grew up together, played music together, probably didn't want to do a band together, and then you did.
Yeah. No, yeah, actually what happened was that our father turned 50 back in 95, and we wanted to play to our dad, and there were like, equipment there, and there was a band there for the party, and then we were just like, hey, let us do something just as a trio, and our little brother Jonne, who's the youngest, he played the piano and he played the sax, but he was kind of forced to take up bass, because we wanted to play Cream songs and Jimi Hendrix stuff, and so I was playing the drums, and Kia obviously was playing the guitar, and then Jonne had to play the bass, and that was kind of like the first thing that we did together. And Jonne was only he's born 77, so he was only 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, we felt like, hey, that was pretty cool, it was just the brothers, and we could actually jam, and have fun, and all the people at the party, they really enjoyed it. And so that was kind of like the initial thing. And then, but we didn't like continue as a band then, and then stuff happened, and then 99 I think, or 2000 I think, we came together and we had some songs, and then we started the band. First it was just a project, we wanted to do one album, and then later on we had a few more songs, and we felt like, oh, these are cool songs, so let's do another. So that's how it picked up then.
Well, that's amazing. I've never heard that story before, so good to know.
Yeah.
And it's still working. I mean, you guys do augment your sound with a couple other musicians. Are these the same guys throughout, or do we have hired guns, or are they part of the process?
Well, the drummer Sami he's like a very old friend of ours. We used to play together in the late 80s, early 90s, and he has been, he's regarded as one of the best drummers of the country, and he just happened to be in the same high school. And even before the high school, we used to, like, Helsinki was like the touring circle or circuit here was like small, but like we were kind of in it, all us brothers, and then he was in another band, so we knew him from before. And then when I went to high school in Sibelius High, which is kind of like a music-oriented high school, he very soon became one of my best friends. And this was when I was 17 years old, right? So then later on, when we had this band and the first album was already out, and we started thinking about making another one, we asked him if he could do the drumming for the album, and he agreed. And then he was kind of like booked to those studio sessions, but he was in a place in his life that he couldn't join the band. So we had another drummer for 10 years, and then Sami joined the band later on. So, and the most recent addition to our lineup, Markus, is he's a guy that we have known for maybe 6-7 years. And now this is the first album that he's actually like playing on almost every song. So yeah.
I always wondered about that. If you guys just go into a room and make it all yourself, or do you include these other people that will actually go on the road with you and such?
We do include that, but the vision of the music is like completely from like us brothers, So we when we arrange the songs, it's usually in the room. It's the three of us and Sami, the drummer, and then we go through the songs and we have like an idea of what we want, and then we try out things, and then we arrange it, the four of us. And then Markus, now a new member of the band, he's very like, he's a multi-instrumentalist, so he can play keyboards and flutes and saxophones and all kinds of instruments. So he's a great addition, because we really wanted to have like woodwinds and stuff on the album, and because it was more synth oriented before, and now we felt like, hey, let's have like a unique sound from
something more organic.
more organic, and like expression. You have a little bit more expression when you're actually playing something where you kind of like it's just not the keys, right? So
right.
So yeah, it's a great addition, and now we have played a few shows with this lineup now, and it works great. Yeah.
So big tour plans after the album comes out?
Some gigs coming. Yeah, in 3 weeks we start from Finland and we fly over to the UK, and then probably next year we already booked like this. We were booked on this tour from Miami, which is called Cruise to the Edge.
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to play that. We have 2 gigs on that boat or on the cruise, and then we have probably, it's not completely confirmed yet, but we are most probably also heading over to Europe for some shows. And then summer, festivals in Europe, probably. Yeah. So.
Well, hopefully we can get you back over here at some point.
Yeah. Alaska would be great.
Wouldn't that be fun?
You have to take us fishing if we come.
I would be more than happy to. The peninsula
Our father always shows us pictures.
Oh, really?
When he was in Alaska, he catch this huge whatever salmon, and it's like one of his most treasured pictures.
Fishing capital of the world, they say.
Exactly.
I used to live in Key Largo, Florida, where you're going to be, taking your cruise. And I have a friend who is a fishing captain down there. He runs fishing charters all the time. When I moved up here, I found out once a year he comes here to fish because this is the best fishing.
Do you go fishing? Do you like that?
I have been a few times. My father was a big fisherman. I'm not very good, but I like the experience.
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the experience,
right?
Being outdoors and enjoying the whatever where you are. And that's more than half of it,
All the air and the water here is so clean, So just being out in it is a wonderful thing. But I put my waders on and gone in the river.
It's been a long time dream, like even. I could call it a bucket list thing to come over to Alaska, because it has so many similarities to Finland, but it's all like next level, somehow, like with the, at least when you watch the movies and stuff from there, like documentaries, it's just so beautiful.
It is. So please come. You have an invitation.
Thank you. Thank you,
well,
Scott. We will take them.
The album is coming out. Everybody needs to buy a copy. Pre-order it if you can. We can't wait to hear the whole thing and see you on the road.
Yeah, I hope that we would get a little bit more fans in over there in America, because that would make a difference in the touring plans. Once you get like going somewhere and people show interest, then it's easier for the band to also like show up.
And that's why we're here.
Exactly.
Thank you for taking the time this evening. It was absolutely wonderful to chat with you, Mikko.
Thank you so much, Scott, and all the best to all the listeners.
And you have a wonderful evening, and we'll talk to you soon.
Talk soon.
Thank you.